Great.
Hello, this is Nicholas Tanek, and oh my God, we have a magnificent, a wonderful guest with us. Too nice. Oh, we're going to talk. Of course, we're going to talk about CBT. Of course, we're going to talk about impact play and foot play and sissification, but we're also going to talk about brainwashing and humiliation and I don't know. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. Please welcome the and wait, all hail and bow down to the magnificent Baroness V.
Thanks for having me, Nick.
Okay, so tell just before we get into details, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a femdom. I basically am a strong woman by day and by night, whether in a session or not. I own businesses. I like to be in charge. I just feel that I have a special power to be able to gather people to be able to help me out. So I've been living the lifestyle almost my whole life since I was 18, and I just turned 53, so quite some time. And
Okay, we'll talk about that. It's funny. It's funny that you mentioned because I live with my dom, Melissa, and she's not a professional or anything like that, but she has a daughter, and I was trying to teach her daughter about sexism, about how and it's funny that Melissa, the mother, just says, "Yeah, Nicholas just probably thinks that women should be in control."
I think more than just you think that. Be a better world.
So let's before we break into the specialties and everything like that. Let's talk about your first time. I mean, everyone's got their first time. Sometimes it's with just one person. Sometimes it's at a munch. Sometimes it's at a party, or sometimes it's at a dungeon. What was and it like as you know, obviously, I'm kinky. I'm out. I'm proud to be a kinky person. You know what I mean? What was your first time being out and proud as a kinky person?
That's a really tricky question because I think I've always been sort of kinky. So
Okay.
in the schoolyard, tying up the little boys to the jungle gym. But I would say really, probably in Toronto, we had a party. It was called the Church Street Festival. And I'd say probably showing up there with a bunch of boys on leashes was probably my first, say fetish adventure.
Showing up. Okay. Okay. No. That's a good answer. All right. So, every professional dominatrix has a kind of they have specialties. Some my friend Genevieve, she's what she calls a Jacqueline of all trade, which because she's a woman, and like she does everything. But I like to think, and I could be wrong, my mind may change on this, but there's the sensual dominatrix, and then there's the sadistic dominatrix, and then there's everything in between. What would you say is more you?
I am definitely the sensual dominatrix. I like to use punishment almost as a threat, but in between, tease and denial. And My forte is probably pegging. It just is. And my background is medical background, things like sounds, pegging. So you have to be sensual, I think, to be performing that in such an intimate setting.
So we have a comment here, and please keep in mind, I can't control these comments. They just happen. Um, if men wear chastity, will women rule the world?
Absolutely. And then men's minds will be exactly where they should be. They won't be thinking of where it shouldn't be.
Okay.
Women.
Well, let's just break the chastity. Let's just go right there. Do you have anybody in chastity right now?
I have 3 people right now in chastity.
Are they live or are they online?
It's interesting you say that because they were live and then it became online due to our situation right now.
Yeah.
So otherwise, I usually have about 12, but due to the situation, it's sort of changed a bit. So, but it's not about the number; it's about how long and how serious that they are.
Well, let's talk about how long. What is the longest you've had someone in chastity?
The longest, that's hands down 92 days. He was aiming for 100, but basically, yeah, gave up at 92. And yeah, I
Was
gave
that in person or online? Was that in person or online?
Oh, it was in person. Most of what I do is in person.
Mhm. Longest I've been in chastity is 2 weeks. And that's because my dom loves my cock. So, all right, let's talk about chastity real quick. Plastic, silicone, or metal?
Mm, if you want to make sure that it is going to stay, then it has to be metal with the piercing. Otherwise, almost every boy can be an escape artist. So metal with the piercing.
With the what's it called again?
Prince Albert.
The Prince Albert, yeah.
You need that. That's the real inescapable ways. I've had a lot of boys that really like a challenge. So believe me, when boys are challenged enough, they'll do anything to get out. So metal.
Okay. All right. So since we're talking about chastity and since we're talking, which basically means, cocks, let's talk about CBT.
Okay.
All right. Off the top of your head, what's the most brutal thing you've ever done?
For CBD, that's easy. It's ball busting for sure. Needle play is very superficial with CBT. So, but ball busting lasts for quite some time. I did have someone online who I had met, but online, ended up tying himself up, and he got himself into a little bit of trouble, a little too tight. So I would say that was probably my most drastic because he ended up in the hospital, but he did do it himself.
Jesus. Oh, okay. Oh, so Jonathan Myers says, Mistress Baroness can peg me anytime. We'll talk about pegging. Don't worry.
Good.
We'll get there. We will get there. And I'm not, and that's great. It's great. So you have someone to peg anytime.
Good. I like to know that.
It's good to know. Yeah, it's good to know. So, um, all right. Do you have an interesting story about feminizing a man? Tell us about that.
I've feminized quite a few men, actually. It depends on the scale to which they want to be feminized. Most of my clients are actually they're straight men that love women. However, at some point in formative years, they saw a sexy picture of a woman wearing garter belt, stockings, push-up bra, corset, the whole thing, and they constructed their definition of sexy. So my sissification clients see themselves as that. So really, they want to look like that Playboy model. They want to look, you know, they want to look sexy. Then you've got the sissies, like the baby girls, sort of want that more frilly baby girl outfit, with the full bloomers and the whole shebang, the Mary Jane shoes. And then you've got the trashy horse, which I get a lot of those. So um,
That's what I was going to ask you.
scenario of ripped stockings right down to the butt plug in and the chastity on and the high heels, but bimbo high heels, and then with the promise that I'll be taking them out to make them useful on the streets for me.
Now, that's interesting because I do think there's a spectrum. There's like the classic kind of sissy maid,
Mhm.
and then on the other side of the spectrum, there's the slut, the dirty slut. And you said you just said you do it all, but just personally, what do you like?
I like the trashy sluts because the trash talk is really fun. And the scenarios you can create from that are some of the best ones that you can imagine, I'm telling you. So I just like that better.
Okay, so Gary Vellon, how can I make my girlfriend become sadistic? That's what he asks.
Sadistic. So sadistic. I don't know, start being a real brat. The best way is just to freaking piss her off. She can become very sadistic. Any woman, believe me, dominatrix or not, just start being a real fucking prick. Leave the toilet seat, up. Man whore. You fucking man whore. And yeah, you'll see. You'll be asking me the next podcast how to make her not sadistic anymore.
So, all right, let's talk about sadism real quick. Um, what is one of the most sadistic things you've done recently,
Recently.
or in general?
The most sadistic things were back in the day. I did a lot of live shows, so we had a lot of fetish clubs in Toronto, and so a lot of the live shows were really sadistic because they'd be blood flinging, caning, and just really the wow factor, the jaw dropping, the shock value. But you don't really have that when you have a private session, because a lot of these people are going home to their lives and they can have bruises, tear marks on themselves, or literally these people in the shows afterwards, they look like they've been hit by a truck. So
Oh yeah, I've seen some really like red butts.
oh, yeah. Red and purple and blue and yellow, and it's the whole process. So, so sadistic is really not for the live sessions. Those are more sensual, whispering in the ear, the slutty, transformations, the pegging. Whereas sadistic are the live performances that we used to do a lot of, which I'm sure you really aren't going to see that anymore.
At least for not for a while, but hopefully so.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, well, let's talk about impact play. Impact play. There. Oh my God, I have a whole crate and it's huge.
Look behind me. Everything is racks of whips and canes and floggers and paddles and
yeah,
all that.
there are canes, there are floggers, there are riding prompts.
I've got it all here.
They're all awesome. They're
Mhm.
all awesome. What's your personal favorite?
I like caning because I like precise. So I like caning. I am not a flogger person, although I have a lot because they're really pretty. I just find honestly it's just not something that I've ever really been into, but I like the build up really. So minus the flogger, I usually will start hand. So start with the hand. My hand is very strong.
Okay,
My
yeah,
pivot
that
hand is
works.
strong, as they tell. So I really start with hand, then I'll go with more like a thuddy paddle, and then more of the precise things. I like to build up because I like people to be astonished at what they can actually take. And if I start right at the strongest thing, then they'll probably just call red really fast. Not that I have a safe word, but I mean, if I did, then so.
Okay. All right. So then there's another thing that you're kind of into, which is foot play.
Yes, I am. It's funny you say that. I'm got my bare foot right now.
Um,
I
people are gonna
am
love that.
licking my toe.
Now, as opposed to other kinks, right? As opposed to other kinks, foot play seems kind of mainstream in a way. Um, as opposed to say sissification or cuckolding or pegging or anything like that. Why do you think foot play is so accepted as opposed to other fetishes?
I think that a lot of it has to do with a lot of big famous producers. Quentin Tarantino is a big one.
Oh
Loves
yeah,
foot stuff, like from dusk till dawn. I mean, what person didn't look at that and be like, I think I have a foot fetish? Like, oh. So you see it all the time.
oh,
I also,
Gary Vellon again says hot souls.
well, thanks. The rest of it ain't so bad either. Uh, so yeah, it's yeah, I can put it very simply. I asked someone once, what is it that is so makes foot fetish so mainstream? And they said, well, if you think of a vagina and then you think of a sexy foot, which one is more beautiful? Which one's more, like wow? And even women look at other women in high heels and think, so sexy. Those, women probably notice other women's shoes just as much because they're just so beautiful, a nice, beautiful high stiletto. And so it's just that. So if you look at a boob and it's what you see is what you get, and then you look at JJ's, and then you look at a foot, I find, more people obviously would be turned on by the sexy foot.
I am I wouldn't call myself a foot fetishist, but I am a sucker for a woman in high heels. Yeah,
Everyone is.
yeah. But I will take a vagina or a JJ first anytime. Like I
In the
love, I, I love looking pussy. So
to tease boys with.
all right. So before we get into brainwashing, which we will, all right. Um, let's talk about sissification. There are a lot of men out there who let me put it this way. I am lucky. I'm very fortunate to be around people who, if I get put in a dress, it's like I'm like they know about it. I'm not ashamed about it.
Mhm.
But a lot of people are. You know what I mean? They're in relationships, they're in marriages or
Oh
partners,
yeah.
or and they just they don't know where to begin. What advice would you give to them?
Um, Go to a pro. The reason I say this is because with the amount of years that I have um, in the past, in the background, I've had many clients where they've asked me to mentor their wives or really help their wives understand their needs. And absolutely, I would every single time. I would love to, raise a marriage to better through that. But I find that a lot of women, you either have it in you or you don't. You're that woman that's going to, throw a boy down at her feet and have stockings on and give him a foot job or, get a foot wash, shoving her foot right down his throat and stuff. But a lot of women don't want to see their husband in that way or put in that extra effort, which is what I hear over and over again, which is really difficult. And then it's when do you turn it off and when do you turn it on? Opening up your fetish to your life, to your main life, really opens up a can of worms sometimes where, once it's like the red pill. Are you going to take it? And then no, it can be difficult certain times. The woman has to have it in her, have a lot of confidence, and just, I don't know, just have an understanding. And I think that understanding is tougher to understand than just reading a book.
And then I also think that the female in the relationship, um, once they kind of understand it and accept and embrace it, it's like things change. Depending on the person, of course. You know, but and things can change in a very good way once you're just like, okay, you're kinky and you want to do this, and let's
Mm-hmm.
do this. Okay, so all right.
Actually, going back to that question, so I'm just going to answer it in one quick sentence then. Sorry.
Take your time.
I think that because I'm really thinking, because I don't want people to go, oh, you shouldn't ask now, because that's not the right way, right?
No, they'll go do.
So I think the best way is, in thinking about it, is get a kinky movie. Like, just find something, even, I don't know, even 50 Shades of Grey, whatever it would be, and then start a discussion about submission and dominance and how that could play in the bedroom, and just start off easy by saying, hey, that was sort of neat, or what if the tables were turned, what if it was the woman in charge. So maybe watch a movie with them and try to start a dialogue with fetish.
Definitely, I highly recommend that. Also, not just movies. Like there's Preaching to the Perverted, which is a great movie, and there's a couple movies from Canada. I can't think of them right now, but there are a couple movies from Canada that are, because Canada seems to got a whole other, when it comes to America, Canada has a whole other level when it comes to kink. We'll talk about that. But and then documentaries. There's a great documentary called Fetishes by Nick Broomfield. Yeah, get that. So, all right. But let's talk about Toronto. You're in Toronto, correct?
I'm actually across the pond from Toronto. So I'm in a little area outside of Hamilton. I used to be in Toronto. I was in Toronto for a long time. I worked at Amazing Dungeons, Patricia Marsh's, for most of my time. And then I just branched out and started my own in Mississauga area. But since then, I've moved to a palatial estate. I don't know if I sent you the video, but it's basically like real life Preaching to the Perverted. So, I've got a beautiful long driveway for pony play and fun things like that. So I'm just outside of Toronto, 40 minutes.
So, I gotta get to Canada. Seriously, I gotta visit there. I would like. We had plans on doing a show there, like a live show with burlesque performers and dominatrixes and comics and bands and stuff like that. But because of what happened, but how would you say Canada is different from other countries when it comes to BDSM?
Ooh, I think it's true. I think.
Yeah, I didn't send you this question.
How is Canada different? That's okay. I actually didn't get a chance to look at the questions.
That's fine.
How is Canada different? Okay, well, we have different laws, right? So that's a big one. How can I'll be honest with you. My background was in Europe, and then I was in the US. So, and I did work a lot out of Toronto, but my clients they came in. So most of my clients, honestly, aren't from Canada. So that's a really tricky question. I think, okay, I could tell you about my German clients. They're pretty hardcore. So I
Wait,
like
back up, back up. We got to talk about that.
okay.
How hardcore?
I've basically done everything, I think. If I haven't done it, it's because I haven't liked it, but I've done it. It has to be a very special person to do that. And I don't really do that as much anymore, but it's fun.
What did you do? Come on, you got to tell me what you did.
Oh, my most hardcore?
Yeah.
Well, I would say definitely like brown showers to me is like most hardcore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I've done some hardcore other stuff too. My most hardcore thing, actually, I stand corrected. For Torture Garden, we castrated a boy. So it was someone that wanted one nut. It's easier for tucking anyway. So we basically snip, snip, and bing, bang, boom.
Wait. Did you really castrate somebody, or you just like pretended to?
Just ask the people that came to watch the show. It was the real deal. So it wasn't me. I actually assisted. So it was a doctor here in the city, but for Torture Garden. I mean, who wouldn't do it for Torture Garden, right? But the hilarious part is, a week later, I was at Fetish Factory in Florida, and people were talking about it, but they didn't say it was me. They were just kept saying, "Oh my gosh, I just heard this girl actually for Torture Garden castrated this guy," and I'm sitting there going, that sounds pretty fun.
So was there like blood everywhere?
Well, you cauterize really fast. Honestly, if you do any sort of like vasectomy, anything like that, it's just a quick little snip, snip, then magic glue, and they don't even stitch that stuff. It's just magic glue.
Okay.
Magic glue. But
All
that's
right. One of the things that you are, um, may I say, you're famous for is brainwashing. All right. Now, okay. Take me through this. I'm really curious about this. First of all, what are some of your requests?
Okay, so I got a lot of simple requests like little things. You hear a word and then you get a heart on. I get a lot of that. I get everything from that to you hear a certain word or a bell ring or a green light when you're driving and you have this insatiable urge to eat a dog treat. Just little things like that. I get a lot of requests for that. I can do that easily through my Night Flirt phone line anyways. So, and just little suggestions, a lot of that.
Okay. And all right. And take me through the process. Let's say I want to be brainwashed.
Oh boy. So there's a few different ways you can go. First of all, you have to create a very strong relationship because I have to be very cognizant of every word that they choose to say. When you brainwash someone, you have to use their language, so their exact words. So my words won't work. So it's just a lot of memorizing, getting to know someone really well. Really, after I see them or during the time, if it's online, let's say it's you and I'd be like this, taking notes. I'd be like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm not writing anything down. But really just getting into their head. And then, there's other things you can do too, like I hate even really, one part of it that I don't love is the blackmail side of it, because it's just not in me to be that person. I call it play blackmail, because really, you know,
Oh yeah, I mean most of the like blackmail stuff is in BDSM is consensual. It's
it
um,
is.
yeah.
Just, so to me, go hand in hand, right? Brainwashing, blackmails, they're one and the same. Now, I did go through school to be a licensed hypnotherapist because I knew that would help me in my side hustle. So I learned that, and that really helped me too. I also went through for NLP, which is neuro linguistic programming, and I also went through for tapping. So I'm basically armed with the tools from school. Also, that helps.
All right, great. So, okay, sadism. All right, so, um, all right. Gary again comes back and says, "Why are most dominatrixes bisexual?"
I think that's really obvious because dominatrix sort of look down at lowly poor boys, right? So it's not the respect factor that you'd usually have sometimes with groveling subs. So, a little bit of fun on the side. And also it's a tease. I mean, that's our one thing that we are really is we're tease and deniers. So, I mean,
Oh God, when I see like two dominant women together, I am like I crumble.
loads that we have. So that's probably why. It's a great
Okay,
little tool to have to bring a boy to his knees, that's for sure.
so all right. Now we're gonna take it up a notch a
Okay.
little bit in a second, but we're gonna bring it down right now in the mood. It doesn't have to be kink related, but personally, how are you dealing with COVID-19 and this whole thing?
Well, you have to stay safe and you have to stay sane. So, as far as for sessions, I only do one a day and then I fog the whole place just to make sure that there's no germs in here. And I've always been very clean, anyways. My background is nursing. So, I mean, the one thing you learn in nursing school is how to clean and be clean and really disinfect. On a personal note, I live I live sort of in an area where we don't have lineups. We don't have a lot. We don't have any Karens. We don't have any Kevins, if you know what I mean. So everybody is respectful, and all I say to everyone is just be kind. And a lot of people are angry and full of anxiety, but you just have to stay positive any way you can, whether it's going for a walk or watching a movie. But just I'm gifted to be a positive person, and I'm surrounded by a lot of positive people. So.
That's what like these interviews are keeping me sane.
Mhm.
I would literally go batshit crazy if
Yeah.
I wasn't doing this.
I seriously have been more in touch with people, I think, now than I usually was in the past because with Zoom and everything else, it's really, you know, it's really just opened up a new world of communication. So we just all have to, you know, just
Now, okay, I totally respect if you don't want to answer this question,
these are my
but
favorite questions.
I'm curious. Are you in a personal relationship now?
Oh yeah, I've been married. Actually, I'm coming up into my 5th-year anniversary in a couple weeks.
Nice. All right. So, all right. This is what I mean.
We're still alive.
Without giving any names or anything like that. Um,
A lot of people know his name.
uh, okay, that's fine. But um, I'm always curious on how kinky people meet because obviously you are a kinky person. So, yeah.
It's a
So,
really weird
how,
story.
how did you two meet?
Actually, I met him through a fetish party. And someone at the party had kept saying, "You have to meet Baroness. You have to meet my friend Baroness." And he really didn't give two craps about me and this Baroness. He's a top himself. So it was funny. He didn't really care. And then we met, and he was smitten. I used my little hypnosis powers on him, and the rest is history.
Now, I noticed that you don't like the word, or you don't like the, for you don't like the term mistress, and you don't,
I
you're,
never
yeah, and that's fine. And you know what,
for
like,
me.
and but there are other words like goddess and baroness,
Mm.
empress, and stuff like that. Why did you choose baroness as opposed to other words?
Well, when I first started, oh my gosh, I was 18 years old. So I was Mistress Jessie. And I love the name Jessie. So I'm like, finally, I'm going to have my name, Jessie. So that's what I was. And I quickly realized that it just didn't suit me. So I became one word and one word only, stiletto. I really focused on foot worship only. So to me, that really was a good name, stiletto. I'm like, that's my name. So, but it still wasn't 100%. So I was driving to go see a movie, and I saw a license plate. I think it was probably 20, late 20s, and it said Baroness, and I thought, whoa, that's it. So I also like it because it does come up in searches at the beginning. It's B. Back in the day when I was really promoting myself, I was like, B is perfect. Start, right, Mistress way down at M's.
There are
Or
tons of
I'm
like,
like,
there are tons of like mistress this, mistress that, which is fine. I'm not saying anything against it, but
no.
yeah, baroness really does
I've
take
always
it.
been creative, and I really feel like I am a baroness. I live in a beautiful house on the lake with palatial everything and beautiful for like I've got a 4,000 square foot dungeon here behind me. I wish you could see it better, but yeah, I feel like
We got to get to that. We got to get that. First of all, let's get back to feet. All
okay.
right, let's get back to let's
It's
get back to
a
feet.
long podcast.
There are some people. There are some women who like they get their feet all done. They get pedicures, but then there are others that get like really dirty and disgusting. So what's your style?
Well, I'm everything. So I basically have sessions, and of course, I'll go and have perfect feet for that. But at the same time, I'm very much a lifestyle dom. So I've got like a lot of boys that really just come by and do work here in the house. I mean, there's always work to do, cutting a lawn, gardening, whatever it is. And I help them out. I mean, we do it together. So I got to keep an eye on them in case they do a shitty job. So, I'm very micromanaging to the boys around here. So I'll have my feet full of mud, believe me, by the end of the day, and they better clean them off because of them, my feet got dirty. So
I I am so like I want my dom literally. I want my dom. I was like, we should just get a sissy maid to clean the house.
yeah,
It's so disorganized. Why don't we just get a sissy maid to clean the house?
hard to find a good one. Usually dripping all over your house on their hands and knees. Just say, you need a clean way to clean up after these buggers sometimes.
That's good. Okay, so the rabbit hole goes deep. There's things that I'm into that I never thought I'd be into, and like it seems like every day there's a new kink for everything. So, what is something that you're just interested in, or that you're just trying out? That you don't have that much experience in. And it's okay to not have that much experience in,
It's funny. Two things come to mind. I was like, oh, which one should I say? This one or that one as you're describing the question. I would say rope bondage. because coming from a pro dom background, nobody's going to be, wanting to have a slow process bondage. I mean, it's cuffs and shackles and, hurry up and clip them on the cross and start the in denial, right? To do a full, hour long and then it's finished and then what? I just find that I use some restraints that are fast so I can get to the action. So rope bondage,
it's an
I've
art
never
form.
really done that much. It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, it's seriously an art.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a segment here. We only got 3 segments to go, but we have a segment here called
Okay.
BDSM BDSM on a budget. Now, I highly recommend everybody out there. If you have money, support high end BDSM, and kinky products and all that stuff. But sometimes you don't need products. Sometimes you just need talking. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Um, so, what are some ways two people who are struggling with money, how can they not spend or spend little money and be kinky?
You mean a couple together?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so easy. Go to Home Depot. Like there's so much stuff that you can just get from Home Depot, like rope or, oh my gosh, duct tape. Duct tape is one of the best things ever. Get a stick off a tree, like stick off a tree works great. Stinging nettle, to be honest with you. If you can find some stinging nettle, I grow it on my property. Boom, boom, that stings. So that's pretty fun. Grow stinging nettle. That's always a good one. Oh, so much stuff. Just scenarios. I think I'm really good at what I do because I am very good at creating scenarios. So, I mean, just create a scenario. Say to your husband or wife, hey, tonight when you get home, I want you to be my student. I'm going to be a teacher and I'm going to surprise you with what happens. So, scenarios are free. So, you really can't go wrong with scenarios. And
You don't even have to dress up either. I mean, it helps, but you don't have.
well, make it fun, dress up. Why not? That's free too.
Yeah. Like if you have.
Yeah, get in the mood, dress up, and dress him in your clothes. That's always good. Like if he has sort of that side, just say, "Hey, tonight, guess what? I'm gonna dress you in my lingerie. I'm not wearing it tonight. You are." So, role play is your best bet.
Okay. No, that totally counts. Okay.
Really, that's the most important part of the whole thing.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
All right. Rapid fire recommendations,
Okay.
and they don't have to be kink related.
Okay.
They could be, but they don't have to be.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Recommend a film.
Oh, Preaching to the Perverted.
Yeah, that's great. I own the DVD. It's got a mask with the zipper.
Actually, wait 1 sec. I'm just gonna get you something.
Wait, now I gotta get it.
So
I'm almost there.
I have from the director a copy to Baroness V, Canada's Tanya Cheeks.
Yeah.
My favorite movie in the world. So he sent this to me, and I probably have it on display at my area over there. But yeah, she's my hero, this girl.
No, that's Genevieve. Yeah. I've actually talked to her.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. See,
I love how I love that. It's nice.
Yeah. This is good.
Is it signed? I'm just saying. Just kidding.
No, yeah, Genevieve,
Mm,
Genevieve's freaking awesome.
yeah,
Um,
I like her vulnerability. Oh, you have two. I only have one. I like her vulnerability. I like how she's strong, but still a person. You really see that she struggles with, you know, hardships, and that the subs around her are really what are her life and what get her through. And I have a sub that's with me for 16 years. Everybody knows him. He's 6'9". And like the relationship that you have with these people is just transpires anything with your family, honestly.
yeah,
I mean, you're
it's a great movie. It's very funny,
right.
but and I think that the humor in it makes it more human. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Um, so okay, so recommend a book.
Ooh, my friend Morpheus's book series, How to Be Kinky, How to Be Kinkier Too. It's the best photos. They're just beautiful. So Morpheus, yay.
Um, has the Baroness used putting on lipstick to make a guy submissive?
Absolutely. It's my favorite thing. I use lipstick bondage. So see this lipstick? Mm, doesn't come off no matter what. So the boys, when they come, I like to put lipstick on them, and then they have to make sure that they come back to me to get it off, or else it'll be on for days. It's lip sense. So if anybody wants any lip sense, but I use it on all my boys, believe me.
That's going in the intro. That's going in the intro.
Stay
Okay.
on. Stay on the.
So we all right. So wait, we did the TV. No, we didn't do TV yet. We did book. We did all right. Recommend a song.
Ooh, song. Oh my God. Nothing Else Matters by Metallica or anything by Metallica.
Okay. Did you see the
The Drive In?
the documentary?
Oh, the documentary, yeah, but the Drive In.
I don't know about that. But I know Metalocalypse did a kind of a spoof on them, which is
Oh, I'll have to look.
really funny. Definitely check that out. It's great. All right. All right. Recommend a television show.
Love Island, all the way. Team Sally.
Okay.
I'm going to watch after this.
Recommend a meal.
Ooh, anything spicy. So it has to be super duper hot. I love it. Mexican, Indian, anything.
I did like a specific one.
Oh, hamburgers. I'm just kidding. Um, Chicken tikka masala.
Chicken. Yeah, no, that's good. Okay. All right. So we have a segment here before we leave. This is the word association game.
Okay.
All right.
Mhm.
Everything's off the top of my head.
Okay.
All right. So we're on the same plane here.
Okay.
These are my notes. Don't worry about them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And we have 3 rules. The first rule is
Meant to be broken.
yes. The first rule is you have to say the first thing off the top of your head, and that's a word or a phrase. It could be a phrase
Phrase.
off the top of your head.
Okay.
I've had people just go, meh. Like,
Oh no, what am I getting myself into? Okay.
no, yeah, you have no idea. This is going to get absurd.
Okay,
And,
I'm ready.
all right. Second thing is we don't kink shame.
What's that mean?
We don't kink shame. So if I say something, please don't make fun of it.
Oh, never. Are you kidding? I love things that.
If you're not into it, just say not my thing.
Yeah, I didn't even know what that meant. Sad that even exists.
Yeah. Are you able to Marilyn Manson submissive for you? I don't even know what that means.
How do you know he's not already here in my cage?
He probably is.
Hang on, he can't talk. Chastity does everything.
And the third rule, and this is a weird one,
Okay.
is the jar.
Oh, the jar.
Yeah. Tango Blue, I love you. She is a submissive kitten,
Ooh.
and we have a very weird sense of humor. I don't know what I'm pulling out of this jar. It's really some of it's kink related, some of it's absolute nonsense. Okay. All right.
Okay. I like
You
nonsense.
ready? You strapped in? You got your helmet on?
Okay.
All right.
I do.
Dildos.
I should get a helmet. Wait. Okay. Ready.
Oh shit! You really do. Oh, lipstick that lasts for days. What kind? Jonathan Myers asks.
Lip sense.
Lim sense. Okay.
Lip sense.
See, I told you, you got fans.
Write me on that life. I can get it for you.
All right. All right. We'll start over.
Okay.
Dildos.
Common.
Straight jackets.
Tight.
The 50s housewife dynamic.
Curlers.
That's a good answer. Choking.
Heimlich.
Okay. Tickling.
Fun.
Wrestling.
Sweaty.
Wax play.
Hot.
Knife play.
Sharp.
Hair pulling.
Naughty.
All right, let's go to the jar.
Okay.
Fingers.
Fingers. Nail polish. Oh, that's 2 words.
No, that's fine.
Okay. Oh, yeah, give me a phrase. Sorry, yeah.
All right. Mew, mew, mew.
Cat vixen. My alter ego.
Spread eagle.
Oh, boy. Slut.
Blood play.
Yummy.
Okay. Piss play.
Get the cleaners.
And finally, we've come to the end, and this is a very dumb joke. Scat.
Shit.
Okay. Yeah.
Get the cleaners back. Get the cleaners back.
let me ask you a question. Really quick question. Name 3 things. Okay.
Okay.
They all have to start with the same word, and they're all 3 things that you would love. But one of them has to be kinky.
3 things I love. So 3 words that I love.
3 words. They all have to start with the same letter, but they all have to be things you love. But one of them has to be kinky.
Okay. Dogs, dungeon, dildos. My top 3 things in life.
All right, Baroness.
Not related. Oh, I should make that clear. But not related. I just love dogs.
No, I love dogs too. I love dogs. I just lost
make that clear.
I just lost my dog recently, and I'm like,
I actually have a dog rescue, so I dogs.
My dom is a veterinarian.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, she Yeah, like we had tons of animals all over the place.
The way to get through
She
these
was
tough times. Have a nice dog.
straight up a crazy cat woman.
Oh yeah.
She she was straight up, and now we don't have any animals at all.
Oh
Uh,
no.
yeah, but yeah. We just recently lost someone, and but that's the way it is.
Yeah.
And you know what? After we're done, I'm gonna watch Preaching to the Converted. But before
Love Island.
we, hello,
Yeah. It cut
yeah,
out for a second.
okay. Before we end, Baroness, please promote. Oh my God, with the info. Even
Oh, lipstick.
people are
FetLife.
sending.
I'm on FetLife, Baroness. It's easy. Just send me a note and say, I can hook you up with the girl that sells
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Just go to the when I post it. Just go to the site.
Yeah.
So stay online, okay? Please stay online.
Sounds good.
But use this to promote yourself in all ways, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, um, you know, Twitter, uh,
I don't even know half these. I'm old school. I'm on FetLife, Baroness,
Fat Life.
and then my own website is Baroness V, as in victory. It's actually
Yeah,
Baroness V Violet Wand. I love
promote
Violet Wand. And
everything.
.com. Follow me on Instagram.
Yeah,
Follow.
I, I have a friend. I have a friend named Dr. Clockwork, who's the daddy of Amy Mercury, and he makes violet wands.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he makes them specifically. I was at a festival which I don't want to talk about, but um, I wore a chastity device, and he electrocuted me with the violet wand.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was good. What is it about electric play that you like?
Ooh, the power, sensual. I mean, there's so many things you can do with that little arc and a nipple, and it's just fun. It's a fun tool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a powerful tool. There's so much you can do with it. I mean, oh, I think I have four violet wands, but I have three different suitcases full of attachments. Even my birthday just happened, and a good friend gave me a bunch of things that he made. I mean, and you can hook the probe up to somebody, and then you can even have a bunch of people sort of touching and electrifying. So it's fun for even groups, right? Because you can just have so many people involved. It's really fun.
That's awesome. Okay. So, okay, we could, you said how we can reach you, and this is Nicholas Tanek at Your Kinky Friends. Go to your patreon.com at YKF. We go to find me on Facebook. I'm there. Find me on Twitter. I'm there. Find me on Instagram. I'm there. It's as simple as that. And hopefully we're going to do a part two, and maybe we'll do some panels. We yeah, we love to do panel shows. It's great.
Mhm.
Obviously, according to the comments, obviously people love you.
I've been around a long time. That's all it means. I've been around a long time. I've been in a few countries and, 30 some odd years. So I just really know what I'm doing and I really love doing it. And
And
like people always ask me how much it costs to come see me. And I just say it's a gift, whatever you feel like it. So, I mean, I have fun. I've had people actually leave and go, oh, here's your gift and give me wine. I'm like, well, it was fun.
I absolutely, I absolutely had a blast
Me too.
having talking with you. Please stay on the line
Okay.
because because I do want to talk to you about some other work that I'm doing, and that I think you'd be very interested in. But
Oh, and one more thing. If anybody loves this beautiful leather clothing, I have an amazing eBay store. I'm giving, like, it's almost a blessing telling people it is the best price leather. It's custom made. So on eBay, it's Baroness approved. And soon I'll have my own website too and be selling it because the prices are amazing and the quality is guaranteed. And, I've been wearing the same stuff for a long time. From the same we just paired recently to do a collab.
okay, wonderful. Can you show us a little bit
Everyone
about
loves
the leather?
it.
Can you show us a little bit about the leather?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I've got a lot of stuff all over here, like leather paddles and strap-on stuff. What I'm wearing, I love this. Good leather, long jacket, nice long tails, whole shebang. So perfect for foot worship. So stuff like that. Just really great prices. They're always putting different stuff, out there. So I love the leather. I love thick leather. I don't love this thin lamb skin or the hide stuff. I like thick. I want it to pull. I want it to be tight. So love it.
All right. Okay. So this is Nicholas Tanek from your Kinky Friends. Oh my God, it's getting late.
Love
My
Island. Here I come.
my Dom is calling me.
Oh,
Remember the cardinal rule, everybody. Be cool, be kind, and keep an open mind. Take care. Stay safe.
mhm.